Hey, what's good, everyone? It's your boy Matt Diazbo doing some more music reviews. Yeah. Today I am checking out the band No Cure with their latest release, I Hope I Die Here. And I hope the band doesn't die here, because if the band happened to just quit and stop everything, I would be really sad. But if this was the last album that they put out, I think they would be able to leave on a high note, because they've taken their style of hard-hitting, aggressive, hardcore music and just really made it leaner and more focused here, and just made a really good effort and created a great album that I think is going to stand the test of time in straight edge culture, hardcore culture, and being one of the stellar standouts of the Alabama hardcore scene for sure. And so with this new focus, No Cure is taking that energy they have here to create a very interesting concept album that is involved around religion. And it makes sense because these guys come from Alabama, the Bible Belt of Southern America, and religion, Christianity is a very prominent thing there. So I can imagine they have some strong opinions about it, whether they like it or don't like it, but their opinions are very strong about it for sure. And I think what they did here by having guest vocalists for each song, I think almost every song has a guest vocalist here, and I think that helps incorporate this narrative they're trying to create here, and it does a really good job of spicing things up and making things sound really interesting. And lyrically, the concept of pushing against religion and just those who are very intensely involved in religion has a very cohesive and coherent sound and just a good flow on this record. So I think they did a good job of executing their goal of talking about religion on this record. And I gotta say, for sure, the guest vocalists on all the tracks here are the highlight of this record, whether it be more death metal style vocals or more low gutturals or some really high-pitched vocal fries. The guest vocalists, they are nearly killing it on every track, and they're doing a great job. And I think it's really cool that, they brought a guest vocalist for each song, and almost every song it has a different sound to it. So they're really working with those guest vocalists' style and creating some really unique songs. So I would play The Basement Beneath the Fountain to give you a sense of how good these vocals just sound good in No Cure style. Epic death metal styles there. I will say the last track, War Cry, is the only time where the guest vocalists feel a little bit out of place. Maybe because their vocals are a little bit too high pitched for the sound of music they're making here. All I know is it just doesn't really mesh that well. However, when those guest vocalists and like all the members of the band do like gang vocals together, I think the mix of those high-pitched vocals and the gang vocals do a really good job of working well with each other. So that was a good highlight from that song. In terms of how the riffs are being played on this record, I feel like they've moved more into a denser, groovier style here while still retaining their No Cure signature heaviness. I think Hanging from the Bible Belt and Forced Coagulation are good examples of how dense the riffs are and have a good groove to them. So I'll play a clip of Hanging from the Bible Belt for you. Noise. And overall, I feel like the riffs on this record are a little bit different in terms of like how they approach the writing. They feel more nuanced and more dynamic. They're not as like crazy heavy. They have some flow, some grooviness to them, and just overall have a cleaned up feel to them, especially on the song Your Children Will Drown in the Burning River. Great example of more elevated guitar writing here. I like the bass being played on this album because it has a very heavy and dirty feel to it. So the songs have a bit of a grimy feel coming from the bass. And I think a good example of that is on Kill a Frat Guy and Forced Coagulation. Forgot it for a second. They have some really good bass tuning on those tracks. So I want to play Kill a Frat Guy for you right now. so fine-tuned with these tracks. I think the drumming here has more of like a death metal influence, like on the song Don't Need Your Help, and also some groove metal on Forced Coagulation. They do a good job of transitioning between these different styles very nicely. It's not as hardcore, it's just more death metal and more groove metal. Overall, just more of a metal influence, I feel like, with this drumming style on this record. And they do a really good job of when it's time to do some good two-stepping, that 1-2 pattern, like on Hang Me From the Bible Belt, they do a really good job of transitioning into these like new drum patterns. I will say though that the drums towards the end of the record on Warcry and To Kill a Frat Guy, they feel a little bit stiff, but not enough to where it's like super noticeable. There's some moments where it wasn't as groovy as it could have been. I'm really amazed by the pacing of this album because it's only 20 minutes long. Well, actually less, it's 19. But it feels like it's 40 minutes long because they pack so many different styles, unique drum patterns, guitar riffs, vocal styles, guest vocalists, and so much is being done in one song. Like the opening song, like Hang Me From the Bible Belt, I thought it was like a 6-7 minute song because so much stuff was packed in. But no, they're just able to transition and play things the right amount of time to make them feel really stretched out, but not at the same time. So kudos to them for the pacing and the overall atmosphere for this new record. While at the same time, they're able to do really short songs and sound very cohesive and coherent, like on The Problem Is You, Same Old Shit. It's just, I think it's like 2 minutes long, but they don't really waste too much on there. They're in, they're out, they play heavy, they play hard, they get their point across, and they're done. It's really well made. So with this newest record from No Cure and this concept album they created here, I feel like they went in with the mission. They had a vision, an idea, they executed really well. They brought in all these cool guest vocalists. They really tightened things up. They were able to expand on their sound in a great way and incorporate new cool things. Maybe some minor hiccups here and there, but overall, it's a pretty good record. And No Cure, they always deliver on good stuff. Never disappointed by them. So I would say this new record from them is a good and solid 9 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this album and give me some recommendations. Always like, subscribe, comment, and until next time, guys, see you in the pit.